I guess he been in the spaces with the fans, and the fans been getting on his ass like, man, the pod trash, bro. Like, well, what's going on? You out here manipulating the fans. You out here being too political. You not speaking on certain topics. You got certain relationships. This ain't the Joe Budden that we were fans of when you was saying, fuck the industry, fuck the execs. I'm here for the art. Like, I'm here for the essence of it. Then you get in the pod lane. You start touching these millions and rubbing shoulders with dudes you couldn't rub shoulders with when you were the disgruntled rapper, and you start turning into the exact niggas you used to be dissing. You doing a lot of the same shit. So they like, what's up, bro? Like, the pod ain't it. And he just went crazy on them. So give me your take on it.
I've been listening to Joe Budden since I was 2015, something like that, 2014. And the podcast, what I'll say right now, the quality is great. However, the content became terrible. It's low-key unbearable right now. And I don't know if it's because I've been watching bro for so long, or it's because they're really not in their bag. It's too much political shit with no fact checking, no knowledge. It's too much of the getting into Melisa Ford's love life and what she got going on. Every time they come on the show, they getting on her, who you dating, what you doing. Niggas don't want to hear that shit. You feel me? And then on top of that, niggas spent 2 months on Drake. They still talking about Drake to this day. Like, and if you're a core fan, which most of their fans and listeners are, we don't want to hear about that shit 2 months later. We still hearing about it. So I think right now they need to take a little break. It's hot outside. Maybe go get on a yacht, get some sun on your skin, and come back rejuvenated, because right now it's not where it used to be. When it was Rory and Mal, I feel like a lot of people really fucked with the show. And then after that, it became a little bit, I don't want to say unbearable, because I enjoy most of the characters on the cast at this point. But I think the camaraderie has become more business-like instead of an actual personal relationship. And you can see it on the camera, and then it translates.
I just think they missing some youth on there. Maybe it's a bunch of old niggas stuck in their ways, and you getting a bunch of old nigga take, which that could be cool. But when you're dealing with hip hop, you're dealing with all age brackets. So I don't know, man, because I came up listening to Joe Budden, but niggas was like, oh, to pump it up, nigga. Like, I was in high school bumping the mood music mixtapes. Yeah. Like, I used to knock that shit. Like, I still to this day, nigga, literally yesterday, I was just playing Mood Music 3 on the way back from the studio with Lil Bro. So I still am a fan of his music. The nigga he turned into on the podcast with the success, I'm not a fan of that. Because like I said, he always was the radical. So I always saw a lot of myself in him from that aspect. Like, man, fuck the machine. You feel me? I'm here for the art. I'm not here to mold and sell out for the music and the record sales. Like, even if it's at a detriment to my own career, because he was damn near a mixtape rapper his whole career besides Pump It Up. So once he hit the success of the Joe Budden podcast, I seen him start to change. Like, that money, that fame, that success, which he always wanted as a rapper, he's getting now in the podcast lane. And now he sees why them niggas was the way they was in the rap lane back then, when he didn't understand. Like, oh, fuck, you not talking about woo woo. And niggas like, man, I got a relationship with these niggas. We making money together. I can't just be out here saying whatever like you. That's what got you punched in the face by Raekwon. That's what almost got you punched in the face by Method Man. This is what got ransom at your homie front door of Vlad TV, smacking the shit out your mans. He didn't understand back then. Now he touching that money, rubbing shoulder with them Jewish folks. He won't even touch on certain topics. And that's what people loved him for, because out of everybody, he was the one who would say what everybody was scared to say, which now he won't even talk about certain shit. Like, fuck you niggas.
No, he really, it started when he went on State of the Culture. He had a show with Brandon Jinx, Scotty, and it was on Revolt, which was Diddy's, was his shit at the time. And I think that's when the relationships and the bias started, because that was one of the first things that I seen people really get on him about, was cutting the whole Diddy, debacle thing out of his show multiple times, not speaking on him, not speaking on Jay. I mean, you go on the show sometimes, and again, they having conversations about shit that nobody knows nothing about, some inside jokes, and it's a 3-hour podcast. So if I turn on a show and it's an hour of y'all talking about the weekend with each other in subliminals, y'all got bleeps coming because we can't know the person's name, they cut names out, shit. What are we watching for? Niggas is not going to stay tuned in for an hour straight and not get to know topics. Our intro is crazy. So he became, you get what I'm saying? Like, our
intro is nuts.
It's just nuts. And then he's became so accustomed to just doing whatever. I think he's letting the fame and the spaces and shit like that go to his head, where he doesn't give a fuck. He literally said, "Hey, fuck you niggas," pretty much like, you know what I mean? Even though you niggas to a certain degree built me up, I don't give a fuck what you niggas say. So he's at a point right now where he feels like what he's doing is what he's doing, and he's not going to change that at all for nobody until a fallout or something else happens where he has to.
He done had a fallout already, though. That's the thing. He fell out with Rory and Maul.
Yeah.
I think that's when his podcast was at his peak. But I wasn't watching him back then because Maul was always like a cornball to me, and I couldn't stand him acting like he was the coolest nigga. Like, I don't know. It's just his energy. I'm like, you're not that guy, bro. Like, cut that shit out. You feel me? Now he has Queen's Flip, which he don't really fit on there because he's like a skit type nigga. He's like a niche type nigga. He's not built for these super serious conversations. But yeah, he put in work. I remember Flip from Smack DVDs. He used to be around Stack Bundles and them niggas. Like, he used to be around all the niggas. Like, who them niggas? He was around, but he was always the jokey, skitty type nigga, even around them niggas. Like, oh, that's Skip, man. He just played too fucking much. So he really don't fit here. And Melissa Ford, this is like, man, this is the problem with bringing women into male spaces because now you got to adjust to a female being there.
Yeah.
Except Ish will go at her a little bit. But other than that, it's like trying to make sure she's comfortable. Oh, we can't talk about certain things. Whenever it's a topic about a woman, oh, hands off. It should have to be the one to say it, or Queen's Flip. But Joe won't say nothing to keep her comfortable. So I'd be kind of iffy with having these female co-hosts anyway in the male-dominated spaces because now you can't be a man like you could be with your boys at the barbershop.
Yeah, we gotta walk on thin ice now at a place that we've been, talking how we wanted to talk and talking freely for 5-6 years. Now you come in and and I don't think, and I think she's an okay addition to the show. Besides eye candy, she's not providing us with anything at all. They just did a word counter. He had a word count on the last couple of shows, and I think in an hour she said like 5 words. It's like you're not even giving us takes. And also, if you look at her before she got on the show, when she just came to just sit down, she was a way different person. And this is what happens with girls, I think, is when they just pull up for the pull up, they energetic, they fun, they giving the whole stories, they doing everything. So Joe and them thought that's what she was going to be on the show. But now she got to see y'all every day. So now she's trying to play like none of that shit ever existed. She's down to earth, she's humble, she's modest, all this shit, which I understand. But at the same time, the shit that she was doing on the show, prior to being on the show is what they thought she was going to get, and that's what people were coming to see from her. When they actually got her on the show, she's too guarded and worried about what people are going to think of her way too much. So a lot of times she don't even answer the question. She go in a circle for 5-6 minutes without even answering the actual question because she's afraid of what we're going to think, and she's also afraid of the backlash that she's going to get from the guys on the panel. So I think if they want to keep her, they got to bring another girl. Or they got to really grill her off the scenes and be like, you got to come with some shit to say.
See, me, I'm not a fan of this new style of potting. I like podcasts. They get right into it. They got topics. I'm going to learn something. You feel me? Or it's a topic I'm interested in. And the people that's on there, I want to hear their take. Like this new style, people just get on, mainly the celebrities, like you said. It's an hour intro. We just talking about random shit. Nobody has no idea what you're talking about. There's no context. There's no flow. There's no direction. It's like we really just talking and taking up time for ad space because that's all it is. They're getting paid off these ad rolls. So the longer the pod, you feel me, the more ads we can get, the more revenue we can get, and the more we can break the clips down. But at least when Joe Rogan does it, they're talking about interesting shit. Hey, man, what you think about aliens? And hey, man, you ever done DMT? And so even though they might not have no direction and it's random, it's interesting shit. Like, man, you ever seen a grizzly? Yeah, man, this grizzly. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Joe Rogan to have you like, man, I ain't never even thought of that. Let me go look up grizzlies now. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's at least some funny shit. But with niggas, it's just kicking back. Oh, yeah, man. And like what y'all talking about, gang? Like, I don't know. Because they be asking us to do that. Like, man, y'all should chill on the topics and just come in and just sit back. I'm like, that's not my personality. I can do it, but that's more like a Twitch type thing. When I'm on set, I like to have direction. I like to have topics. I like to have substance. A lot of people don't want substance. They just want to see you, which is kind of
even the ass shit. Joe Budden used to say he would never do that. Now he got Prize Picks and all these other things. Like he had Ruby Rose on, I believe, because she has a thing with Prize Picks. So it's like he's starting to do a lot of shit like that that's just tanking the content, in my opinion. You got 7 people on the show. It's a lot of voices, a lot of different opinions, and some of them aren't formulated well. And I think that's what he needs to do. He needs to hone in on the content and figure it out. I honestly suggest it's called the Joe Budden Network anyway. He got another podcast with some football players as well. I think he should keep whoever's on the show, but give them segments of their own. Because like he had improv with Flip. He could do a show with Mel on her own. Like it's some things that he could do, but I don't know if the people that are there want to do it. See, the thing about Rory and Maul was them niggas was there through thick and thin. He said, "Come here today." We do it. Was you never watched the episode? And it was like, "Oh, this nigga's on vacation today. Like he's over here." Like it was never none of that. They was every episode Joe was there. They was there. Now niggas is more. It's too sedity. Niggas is on vacations. Niggas is like, oh, I don't want to talk about this shit, whatever. And so it's tanking the content. He doesn't have in my opinion, a group of people who really want to see the show grow. They came after the growth. So they didn't get paid. They fuck with it, but they never gonna fuck with it as much as him because they didn't watch it grow.
They just riding the wave. You feel? See, that's why I feel what Shannon Sharp said. A lot of people, oh my God, I can't believe you said that. He like, look, you work for me, ain't no vacation if I ain't on vacation. Because what you do on vacation and I'm the star and I'm at work. What you mean you on vacation? What you mean? Without me, it's no you. So how is you on vacation and I'm working? I feel that because this beats a 9 to 5. So if you're not trying to push the content further and push the brand further than me, or at least as further as far as me, I don't need you around. Because what the fuck are you around for? Y'all playing? See, I think he got to start bringing more guests on as well. It's cool with them, but they're not captivating personalities to me, in my opinion. It was cool when he used to bring the battle rappers and shit on. They used to liven the show up. You get a lot more arguments and debates and back and forth. And all these niggas is like, oh, man, everybody's a cool, old, laid-back nigga. And then you got Melissa Ford, who act like she never was a video vixen. Like, I don't want to hear that shit, man.
Nah, shout out to Sue Surf, because that's really who was supposed to be on the show before he got locked up. And he was killing it like that. He was a funny-ass motherfucker. He had great insight on topics. He brought that realness to the show that, I feel like the cast right now is kind of missing, and that rawness. And so shout out to him because he really was killing it, but he got locked up. From what I'm hearing, though, on the show, he going to come back once he's free. So hopefully he do, and it'll go crazy.
Yeah, free Sue Surf, man. We got to get him on the show when he touched down, man. Holla at the wave, you feel me? Funny, I was supposed to do a song with that nigga back in like 2011. On God, and I ain't even rap like on Jesus.
Bar up.
Nigga, what? I was a super fan of battle rap. I'm like, man, let me DM this nigga, DM that nigga on fucking Twitter. Like, hey man, how much for a verse? The nigga tapped in immediately because he was coming to LA. Like, yeah, boo woo. But since you were homie, woo, bam, I'll charge you this. So he a real dude, he a real cat, he real down to earth and shit. Shout out to Surf, free to wave.